Hey guys, and welcome back to the New Earth Alchemy podcast. I had mentioned last week with my episode with Brandy that I wanted to talk about clothes and how we kind of touched on that, but we didn't really cover anything that I wanted to cover on it. We got off on tangent and after tangent, and it didn't really feel authentic for me to be like, hold on, I have a bullet point list of things I want to touch on with this. So I decided to give it its own episode with just me so I can tell you about it. So essentially, I've figured out a way to use clothes and fashion and what I wear, and it extends out past that as well, but I'll get to that. But I've figured out a way to use them as tools for magic and manifestation and confidence and balance and all of the things that I need depending on the day it is. So we all get that if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good and look good, then you do good, and the mindset's there, and the confidence, and yada, 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 right? But one of my absolute favorite practices is my socks. And I do this with my coffee mugs as well. So you may or may not know that I'm really into anime and fantasy and yada, yada. So I have Game of Thrones socks, and I have Avatar: The Last Airbender socks, and those are divided up by elements. And then I have My Hero Academia socks, and I have Naruto socks, and those are divided up per clan. And similarly, I have Demon Slayer mugs for each character, and I have a Dragon Ball Z mug for, did I say cups with the Demon Slayer? Because mugs, they're mugs for my coffee mugs that are anime themed. And basically what I do is I coordinate my outfits and my coffee mugs to whatever type of energy that I'm going to need that day. So for example, if it's a day filled full of just mom taxiing, so we're just running errands and running the kids from this point to that point and that function to this function, that extracurricular activity, I'm just playing soccer mom that day, then most likely I will choose one of my Naruto clan supporting socks. So not the main characters, but one of the clans that are a supporting role, because that's what I'm doing today. I'm supporting my family. I'm a support character. Or alternatively, if I've had like a lot of jittery energy and I know I'm going to have to sit still a lot today, because that's usually what ends up happening when I'm carting kids from one extracurricular activity to another, is that it's just a lot of sitting still and waiting, then I might choose my Avatar Earthbender socks, if that earth energy to slow me down a little bit and give me more stability and stableness. Oftentimes I choose the water bending socks when I'm stressed out and need to learn how to be more fluid and let things go, wash it away. So we're working with water and the energy and the archetypes of the element. Or if my energy levels are subpar and I'm having a hard time getting going, I might choose my fire element socks. I'm a firebender today. I need that extra oomph, that extra energy underneath me. A lot of fire under me. Let's go. We gotta pick up the pace. We got things to do. We ain't got time to nap. We ain't got time to be sluggish. Let's go. And I also like my Shikamaru socks if I'm going to be sitting at my computer most of the day doing computer work. And I know that means almost nothing to most of you probably, unless you're a Naruto fan. Shikamaru is the planner. He's the brains of the operation in the show. So if I want to embody those types of archetypes, those personality traits, then that's what I'll choose. And the same thing with my Game of Thrones socks, which I'm kind of over, honestly. I've had these particular set of socks for more than 5 years, I'm sure of it. So I'm kind of over these, and I don't wear them most of the time. They're for sure I don't care if I ruin these socks. But I do the same thing with them. So I might choose Lannister if I'm going to go play some really competitive pickleball. Or I might choose the Tyrell socks if I'm going to a social event that may need a little bit of tact. If I'm feeling unmotivated and I want to quit all of the things, I might choose my Naruto himself socks to help me remember my purpose and why I do these things in the first place. or my deco socks for the same purpose. Most of these archetypes are not going to make sense to you if you're not familiar with the shows, but just take the concept and apply it to your own shows and your own likes and archetypes and needs and stuff. My Avatar The Last Airbender socks, so we have all 4 elements, so all 4 bender tribes, but we also have a pair that's just Avatar, like all 4 elements, master of all 4 elements socks, and I may choose those if I'm needing like a confidence boost before I go on stage or something. I do this exact same thing with my coffee mugs, and I used to do it with my water bottles, but I don't really have any themed water bottles anymore. They're just kind of, well, I do have stickers on them, so like one water bottle has a bunch of anime stickers on them, so it's my warrior water bottle, and then the other one's just flowers. I don't really do it with my water bottles too much because I only have 3 and they're more functional than anything. So, but as far going back to the coffee mugs, you can imagine that as you're drinking your coffee out of this mug, you're being empowered with the archetypal energy, and then taking the same concept and moving it to colors and the chakras. I did that for infinitely longer than I ever did the sock energy and mug thing. For as long as I can remember, well, since I started understanding the chakra system. So at least 12 years ago, I started doing this. I would do the exact same thing, but by color and chakra. So if I was particularly anxious that day and I needed to like calm myself, ground myself, then I would pick a red outfit to help me, stimulate that root chakra energy and the aspects that go along with it. If I was working that day, I might do a yellow outfit. If I needed to create some things like some graphics or some content or whatever, then maybe I chose orange. If I wasn't feeling particularly loved or I needed to get some more self-love mixed into then I might choose green. And let's see, blues help with the throat chakra and also the third eye chakra. There's like different shades, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot. And then purple would be connection to the divine, spirituality, all of, oneness and whatnot. So if you're like, I don't have any show merch, Savannah, I don't have any merch, you can do this with Harry Potter, you can do it with literally anything, literally any show. You pick a character that you like and that has characteristics and personality traits that you'd like to embody, and even if you don't have any things like clothing or mugs or cups or whatever, it doesn't matter. You can do it with your mind. You can just sit and think about it for a second and be like, today's agenda is XYZ, so this is what's on my to-do list. This is what I need to do for today. Man, who would rock this? Beth from Yellowstone. She would kick butt in this. Let me embody that. Let me tune my own energy and vibrations to those types of energy and vibrations that are going to help me with XYZ task today. And that might mean checking in with your posture. It might mean taking a second to think what it would feel like to be her. Lots of things to do with this, lots of ways to take this concept and make it your own and apply it to everything in your life that you could possibly apply it to at any given time, always, as often as you can think about it. You get to choose the energy that you embody and put out and navigate the world with. The hardest part of doing so is focusing the mind, which, stuff like the socks can help with. You just put them on and forget about them. And you set the intention and your subconscious is like, oh, okay, yeah, we're doing that today. But also I wanted to mention that our clothes have energy just like everything else has energy. So get rid of the socks and the undies with the holes and the tattered and the tears and all of that. It makes you feel ratty when you wear socks with holes in them and they're uncomfortable, and you can feel them rubbing against your shoe, against your foot, creating blisters. It just makes sense, right? Like, we're influenced by everything that we come in contact with, and our clothes are the biggest contact thing in our lives. And think about that feeling that you get when you get a brand new outfit and you put it on for the first time and you wear it out. And even though your favorite t-shirt that you've had since middle school with all the holes in it, if it's so comfy and we still love it so much, it still does not have the vibrance and the high energetic levels that it used to, or that the new outfit does. And yes, it hurts to let it go, it may not be ready to let go of yet, but it also might be. A lot of us are really, really bad about suffering through the old clothes and not buying new ones because money and self-worth. Because let's break this down for a second. As a parent, I have a lot of parent friends, and more of them than not tell me things all about like how, I can splurge on the Nike and Adidas and yada yada, the expensive clothes for my kid, but I just can't do that for myself. Okay, babe, why? See, my philosophy is the exact opposite. My kids get basic Walmart, Target clothes, hand-me-downs, thrift store, and I shop at thrift stores. Most of my clothes come from thrift stores, so don't get me wrong. But look, you spend $30 on a hoodie, on a Nike hoodie, that your kid's going to destroy and get stains on in a week and grow out of in a couple of months, but you won't spend $30 on a hoodie that you're going to take care of and cherish for the next 8 years. What kind of self-worth things are we working with there, babe? Our clothes are the most direct representation for who we are and how we feel about ourselves. As above, so below, as within, so without. It's going to reflect both directions. So how your internal world is feeling about you is going to show in your clothing choices. But it works the opposite direction too. So you can choose clothing that portray the energy and carry the energy that you want to embody. And then that's going to seep into you and affect your mental state as well. But we're not just talking about how the clothing looks and whether or not there's holes in it. The quality also really matters. And things that are produced cheaply with perhaps Chinese labor farms are not going to have near the vibrance and energy that something of higher quality and better made is going to have. And it's also not going to last as long. So if we're talking about the price of clothing, three $5 shirts are not going to last you near as long as one $25 shirt. And you're going to feel so much better in that $25 shirt for longer than you ever are the $5 shirt. And again, I'm talking about brand new clothes, whereas, I definitely shop at thrift store. Most of my clothes come from thrift stores or yard sales. You would be amazed at the not worn clothes people are just throwing out there and selling for pennies on the dollar. But those three $5 shirts are going to last you maybe 6 months to a year. And then that $25 shirt is going to keep on keeping on for years and years and years. So even though up front it was cheaper to buy the three $5 shirts, in the long run you're going to end up spending a lot more as you replace those because they're falling apart. But again, let's not miss and forget about our abundance mindset either, because we want to live in that abundance mindset instead of the scarcity mindset. So that might be something that we need to unpack as well. When the math says three $5 shirts every 6 months versus one $25 shirt that's going to last 2 years, when the math is there and we still think that the $25 shirt is too expensive, And that's just money math. We're talking about like energy math as well. The value, the feelings that you get are worth way more than the fabric, the cloth. Because remember, we're focusing on the energy, we're focusing on the feelings. There is nothing more important than how you feel about yourself and your life. And ta-da, there are some tips for getting to where you want to be, or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I have some calls with some people to do some episodes for you guys. So let me know what you thought about all of this. I'm super glad that I came back and covered it like I wanted to cover it. It's been nagging at me in my head to tell you all because it's something that I really do a lot. It's a super awesome tool that helps me. And if you've ever seen me in real life, you'd be like, oh, okay. Because it doesn't translate because you can't really see me as well as I am through the videos. And this one doesn't have a video, but I wear lots of like glitter eyeshadow and bright lipstick and extreme color-coded outfits. It's very specific, but it just blows my mind when people compliment my eyeshadow and then they're like, I could never. Baby, what you mean you could never? Let's put this on. Let's unpack why you think you can't wear some glitter gold eyeshadow, because yes, you can. Absolutely you can, and I think you should. But anyway, drop your thoughts. Come hang out with us in the Facebook group or the Patreon. Drop your thoughts. Until next time, I love you so much. Namaste.